Agut v'cha boisai. We're holding Daf Nun Ches Amud Beis by the Mishnah. We're talking about, the whole parak is about what animals are treif, what animals are kosher. Today we're going to go into the famous Malagera, Ma'afres Parsa Sugya. Very, very interesting stuff. So the Mishnah says, Achuzas Hadam, if an animal has too much blood, time of the Gemara, even when people got sick, they would do a lot of bloodletting, they would take out blood. They do it also for animals. Too much blood. They have that thing today. Something like too much blood. Achuzas Hadam Vamushenes. An animal that smokes. No, I'm kidding. Has smoke inhalation. Has too much smoke in it. Vamtunenes has a good gesunte cold. V'sha'achla hardufni. Hardufni will kill an animal. Just kill it. It's poison. A human eats it, it's nothing. I don't know, nothing, not a big deal. V'sha'achla says an animal that ate these kind of things that could kill it, or even the feces of a chicken, or shashasa maimarim. This is super interesting. What's bad water? Bad water for human beings is water that you left overnight. You left megula, not overnight. You even leave 2 minutes. You're not watching it. It's my megulim. Same thing for an animal. It's bad for the animal. Why? Because maybe a snake put its venom in there. It's bad. Sheira. It's not one of the 18 treifas, so it's kosher. But let's say the same thing would happen with a cow. If a cow ate chocolate, it would die. So if a cow ate chocolate, you're allowed to eat the cow. It's not going to do anything to you. It'll do something to the cow, but not to you. Some things kill a cow, don't kill a person. Something kill a person, don't kill a cow. If the cow gets bitten by a snake and there's the snake venom in the cow, you have a problem. If you eat a steak, you might get the venom. It's problematic. So that's what the Mishnah is saying here. Usha achlar dufni, it's like eating chocolate. Sheira, you're allowed to eat the cow. Not a problem. But achlas hamamaves, if it eats poison, human poison, or a snake bit it, muteres mishum treifa. It's not going to be a treifa, but vasura mishum sakaras nefashos. You have an issa to eat this because it's dangerous. Amar Shmuel, says the Gemara, halito chiltis treifa. If you feed this animal chiltis, it's treifa. What's chiltis? This is chiltis. If a cow eats this, it's very dangerous for it. I have a video to show you. I'll prove it in the video. It's very, very bad. My time the it'll make holes, puncture holes in its intestines. Imagine if a cow has holes in its intestines and drinks something, what's going to happen? It's going to spray water everywhere. It's very bad. So, Moser Rav Shizvi, Achuzas Hadam Vamushenes. I have a question. No, but in a second. You're telling me that if it eats chiltis, it becomes a treifa. Why? Because we know that if the intestines of an animal has a small, tiny hole, it becomes a treifa. If it eats chiltis, forget about it. It's going to have 20 holes. The problem is, it says somewhere else, the chiltis is kosher, the animal's not treif. The things from our Mishnah that has too much blood, has smoke, V'shachla ardufni, it ate ardufni. V'shachla says, Taragam says, bad water, hilita, here we go. Hilita tia chiltis. If it ate this chiltis with pilpulin. So if you give that pilpul to a cow, it's not the end of the world. Achlas hamamav, it's not the end of the world. Sheira. Yeah, like all father-in-laws. Hikisa nachash, oishanoscha kelev shaita. But if, so we already saw the problem. The problem is the chiltus. The chiltus says over here ksheira, and we learned in the brisa that's treif. So what do? Is the chiltus, this yellow flower over here? We learned that it makes an animal treif, and then we say that it doesn't make the animal treif. Stira. And then we have another problem. Ochlas hamamaves, if you eat poison, if it ain't ksheira, and that's a problem because Shmuel said if you eat poison, in the Mishnah it says eat poison, it's treif. Next thing. So we got to the question, but we have to finish off the brayse. If a snake bit this animal or a rabid dog bit the animal, it's not a treif, it's not one of the 18, but don't eat it because it's a danger. What do we do? On the one hand, it says chilus makes the animal treif. The other one says not treif. Same question as samamavas. If you give the animal chiltus that's leaves, then it's okay. It won't kill. You give him those pits with the seeds, forget about it. He's a goner. What's the answer? How come one place it says that poison makes the animal treif, and another place says poison does not make animal treif? Hadadam, the chocolate. If it's a poison that kills an animal, only an animal like chocolate, then a human is allowed to eat the meat. Hadadam, but if it's poison that kills human beings, it's in the meat, so you can't eat it. Sama was the behemo, hainu redufni. Just a side question. We already spoke about redufni, so why are you saying samamavas? Samamavas is redufni, it's one and the same. You're right, tregav and samamavas, we're talking about two different types of poison. Okay. My teal, what's this teal that we're talking about? Omer Rav Yehuda ikro de mirita. In English, it's called aconite. You know what that is? I don't either. And in Hebrew, you don't speak Hebrew, so it's not important. It's very poisonous. Great. Omer Rav Yehuda. It's like a little bit of agata here. We have agata on Beis, if we'll ever get to it. If you eat like 3 shekel worth of chiltas, that we said before, it makes holes in an animal. Can you imagine what it does to a human being? Aliba rekana on an empty stomach, empty heart, mishtalach mashche. His skin will literally fall off. Omer Mavo, but did he have a uvda? I once had a story with myself. It's mamish like I say, Meiser Shahaya. I only ate 1, not 3. The Gemara talks about 3. 1. If I wouldn't have jumped into the pool, my skin would have fallen off. I mamish was behind this pasuk that Chachma, when you know the Torah, you know Gemara, you know different things, it made me live. Because if I wouldn't have known, I would have just sat there and all of a sudden, my skin would have peeled off and he probably would have gone bye-bye. So the Chachma, the Torah, Techaya Ba'aleh, gives life to the owner. Omer Rabbi Yosef, Hayman Da'ochel Shitzri Be'ah, if you eat 16 eggs, don't ever try this. Rabbi say 16 eggs, V'arboyam Guzi, 4 or 40 nuts, V'shav Butisa de Pirche, and 7 caper berry things, V'shasi Reviasa Duvshan, and a revius of honey. Bitzkufas tam is in the summer. Aliba rekana on an empty stomach with an open heart. Misakatali delibe. The strings holding up the heart are gonna snap. It gives you a heart attack. Ahu Bartavio, the Asalabei Reish Gelusa. They brought this deer. They want to eat a deer. They bring him to have a mafsik karim basriyasa. His rear feet was severed, broken. So Batki Rabbit Tzomis Hagidin Vachshira. What's Tzomis Hagidin? So this is just the chicken. I don't have a good one for. We were learning the chicken one. It's in this area of the foot. What you do is, it has. The Gemara tells us it has 16 different strings. It's a stringy kind of tendon. 16 strings. You put your finger in there like this guy, and this is what Rav did. He did it to the deer. He put his finger, gave it a pull. He saw that the strings are intact. They're not falling apart. V'achsherei, great, you could eat it. He wanted to eat it, rear. Go to the restaurant, rear, well done. I want to eat it rear. The problem with the rear is that some of the juices, some of the things are still in there. Aren't you scared that maybe the reason why he can't walk is not because it got some, maybe it's bitten by a snake. It's like paralyzed. So right now it has snake venom in it, and you're going to be eating it rear. You didn't cook it out. It's in there. Very interesting that in another Gemara, the famous Gemara that Shmuel saved Rav's life. Rav had a terrible stomach ailment, and Shmuel gave him this thing that made him run to the bathroom, something, I don't remember the whole thing. It's very embarrassing for Rav. And Rav cursed him. He says, whoever gave me that medicine, that saved him actually, shouldn't have any sons. And Taka Shmuel never had sons, and Rav felt really bad, and Rav always gave Shmuel a lot of honor, a lot of kavod. Even though Shmuel wasn't even close to Rav in learning, Rav was considered the Gadol Hadar and is much greater. The Gemara always talks about Rav and Shmuel because of that story. Here's another time, and Shmuel's a doctor. So Shmuel knew this stuff, and Shmuel saved him again. He says, if you're right, so what should I do? I want to eat this deer. Venison, So he says, put it in the oven, slow cook it, don't do this weird stuff, and you'll be able to tell. He put it in the oven, pieces started falling off. He realized that this meat is infected with this venom. And Hashem saved tzaddikim. Here, I was here at the right place, the right time, I saved you. And Rav threw out a pasuk to Shmuel, every secret, all the secrets of the Torah, thank you, saved my life. Great. So now we're jumping into the super interesting sugya of the simanim of the animals. Simanim behema v'chaya nemru min ha-Torah. The Torah tells us that in order to be kosher, you have to be malik gera and mafres parsa. What does that mean? Chew its cud. What does that mean? And split hooves. So malik gera, the cow eats, and all the grass goes into the keres. That's stage one. It's a big giant bag, and it mixes in there with also, but it doesn't break down very well. And then from there it goes to the Beis HaKaisis. Beis HaKaisis makes it into small little balls. It has you look at it, it looks like a honeycomb, and the grass goes into those balls. And then from there, it pops it back out somehow. I don't know how it works exactly, but it goes back from the same pipe that it came in, goes right back to the mouth. And then the cow chews it again, 20 times on each side, he says. 20 times, that's what he said over here. 20 times each side. 20 times each side. Chews it this way, chews it that way. Then when he swallows it, somehow, I don't know how this thing works, it doesn't go through that whole thing again. It goes straight to the hemsis. It's able, from the consistency, it knows. It directs it to another place, to stomach number 3, which is hemsis, and from there it goes to keva. Okay. Now, every animal in the world that's malagera and chaya, deer also, the malagera, is kosher. Besides what? There are animals that are malagera, 2 types of animals that are malagera, but they're not mafres parza. They don't have the split hoof. What's a split hoof? Looks like. Anybody want to take a guess if you didn't hear the share before? What is maligera, but doesn't have split hooves? Here's a split hoof. The bottom looks literally like 2 separate feet, completely split. We know that a chazer has that, but it's not maligera. What's maligera? Regurgitates its food, but doesn't have. It's only one animal, one big animal called a camel, and a small animal, rabbit. Very good. Okay, Zok the Gemara. V'simone, this is the Mishnah. We're in the beginning of the Mishnah. Simone be'evim chay nemer in Torah. That's in the Torah. V'simone oif, lo nemer. So the Torah tells us there are 24 non-kosher birds. You have the owl, and a nesher, and there's a zniya, a chasida, all these things. 24. Anything that's not in the 24 birds, and there's tens of, I don't even know, look it up. Avi, how many birds are there? Tens of thousands, I would say, right? How many species? How many species? There's thousands. 10,000 species. Anyways, there's 24 birds that are the treif. The rest are kosher. But we don't know, there's no simanim or what's kosher. Maybe that bird that you're thinking of eating, Kol Avlamur Chachamim. Koloif Hadoires Tome. I love this picture. This is from Kol Alshon. This is a parrot. A parrot, there's 2 things you can see in this picture. A parrot takes his food and picks it up and brings it to his mouth. A pigeon doesn't do that. Chickens can't do that. They don't do that. They don't use their feet as a hand. A parrot, an eagle, I saw the hawks. They kill an animal and they start eating like this. Like. Another interesting thing you see on this picture is that a parrot has 4 fingers. But what do you see over here? You only see 2. Why do you see 2? Because 2 go in the front, 2 go in the back. That's another siman of treif. A kosher bird doesn't do that. All his fingers, all three, are in the front. They have like a oneer that there is a kosher chicken, all in the front. So that's a siman of, even though the Torah doesn't give a simanim, we have a siman. So Doris over here doesn't, in Hebrew, Dores means to pounce upon and kill. Over here means to hold your food in your hand. It has an extra finger. So here's an extra finger. Rashi and the Rabbi, but we go with Rashi. Extra finger means that little one in the back. And so what's a zepek? So up. No, there's too much up. Oh, here we go. This one. All the way on the left is where the bird eats. It goes into the esophagus, into that tube, and it goes into a little sack. That sack is called a zepek. That's the first stage. And then it moves on to the kurkavan. People eat the kurkavan. I don't even know how to say it in English. In Hebrew, it's kurkavan. A pipik, I think. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So the kurkavan has an inside pocket, inside like a layer. This yellow on the right, if you could pop it out quickly, that means it's kosher. The kurkavan nikla, if you could peel it off, tar. If the bird puts two fingers on this side and two fingers on that side, Zok the Mishnah, we're still in the Mishnah. When it comes to grasshoppers, here's a grasshopper. As long as it has 4 feet, and 4 wings, and 2 jumpers here. So you see on the grasshopper, it has 4 legs in the front, but these giant guys, here's its wings are open, and because that's the next thing, it has to be choifer roiv, knaf of choifer misrubai. Says the Mishnah, uknaf of choifer misrubai. You need its wings to cover most of its body. In addition to all these simanim, that's 4 legs, 2 jumpers, wings, the whole thing, it needs to be called a chagav, because today we don't eat grasshoppers. I actually have a whole box of grasshoppers at home that have a hechsher. So usually when we talk about grasshoppers, I bring the shirbutz in Eretz Yisrael. But Teimanim eat it, and some Moroccans. But they have a Messiris, and there's about 800, the Gemara says there's 800 types of grasshoppers. Ubedagim, here's a fish. There's 2 simanim, kol yeshloi snapir v'kaskeses. Kaskeses is like, no, how do you say it in English? No, like they used to wear armor, like armor. And the snapir are these guys on top or on the bottom, like wings. All you need is 2 of these armors and 1 snapir. Ve'elem kaskesin. This is it. They have to be part of its skin. That when you look at a fish, it looks like he's flying. He goes like this with his snapir. Torah abana. Eilan simone behema. Kol behema mafreses parso. The goymer. The end of this puzzle. Kol behema shemal geira. So now the Brisa says a rule, which is the Gemara is going to say that we have to just flip it around. The words are good, but they're said in the wrong order. Anytime you find an animal that regurgitates its food, it chews its cud. First of all, you should know it doesn't have teeth. And since it doesn't have teeth and it's malager, it's tar. That's where you should know the side. Every animal that's malager. As the Gemara Klolo, that can be a rule. Barigamo, the malagerahu. A camel regurgitates its food. It doesn't even have teeth on the top. The tame. Why is it tummy? If you're telling me it doesn't have teeth on top, it's tar. Here's an animal, it doesn't have teeth on top, it's tummy. Says Gemara, Gomel Nivi is like, what are you talking about? It has teeth. Take a look. It has something called Nivi. Like in English, it would probably be called canines. What does the article call them? Canines. Okay. You sure?
Yep.
Because I don't have my English art school here. That's an Eretz Yisrael.
Camel has canines.
Canines, yeah. They're canines. Kisser, it has canines. Those two teeth on top, that's enough to make it called teeth. So that's within the rule. Says Gemara, very ben gamo. What about a little camel? Until it's 6 years old, and even nami leslie doesn't have these upper teeth. Besu, and the obvious question on that is, so what? But its breed, its mother has teeth, so it's not okay. Fine. The Gemara says better questions. Vesu hari shafon a hyrax varneves and a hare like a rabbit. That's what we call them. Here are the two of them. They malagerahem. They regurgitate the food. And they have teeth on top. They're tummy. So this is a very difficult line to explain. There are people who have a lot of problems with this because the rabbits that we know today do not regurgitate the food. So Reb Shamshon Hirsch talks about it. He has a whole thing. He says that our nevis is not what just because we call it today in Hebrew a rabbit, it means something else. But what is it? One shot I saw is that the rabbit, after it relieves itself, it will eat its soya. So that's called regurgitation. Okay, different shot. But it's a topic. Where does it even mention teeth in the Torah? This is the pshat. This is the rule. If it doesn't have teeth, not if it, we started before. If it's maligera, it doesn't have teeth, then it's tar. No, if it doesn't have teeth, if it doesn't have teeth on top, we saw by the shechita 2 weeks ago. It just has teeth on the bottom. It has just the whole top. What? Oh, here's a camel. Oh, very nice. This is from our thing? You took this picture? Yeah. It doesn't even have Nevi. It doesn't have canines, this one. Oh. This must be less than 6 years old. No. Oh, it has something coming out over there. You see, they're starting to come out in this picture. I'm not joking. You took this picture, Javi. Wow. Well, compared to the bottom ones, for sure, it doesn't have top ones. But anyway, so check its feet and see if it has split hooves. Besides, of course, a chazer. You know what a chazer looks like, so check its feet. No, they're chopped off. Check its mouth. We were on the safari, and I asked everybody, I said, what do you think about this animal? We saw tens of thousands of these in one shot, without a guzma. It's called the wildebeest. For miles upon miles, they were during the migration, before the migration, after, I don't even know. They have a million something. We saw tens of thousands and thousands, unlimited. The eyes, you go through them and they run. The wildebeest, the wildechayis. It looks kosher to me. So is it kosher or not? Nobody talks about it, kosher. So he says like this: if you're in the midbar, all you need to do is look inside its mouth. So tonight I went on Google and I looked. This is what I came up with. Look at this. This is like the dentist, the wildebeest dentist. Took the X-rays. It has bottom teeth. It doesn't have upper teeth. The guy on the left is the upper teeth. Doesn't have upper teeth. Comes out according to this Gemara, wildebeest is kosher. That's what we thought. It looks like a regular behemoth over there. And you know how much meat you can get? Wow, millions for free. It's crazy, unlimited. The buffalo, the zebra. Well, zebra's not kosher, but the giraffes maybe. Says the Gemara. Then you could eat it. What about Messiah? Messiah. This says over here, you can eat it. You're in the midbar, you're hungry, you're going to eat something. Unless you know that it's tmeya. If it doesn't have the teeth, if it has teeth, then you know it's tummy. You have to just recognize that it's not a camel. You have to know what a camel looks like and how it acts. If you know the wildebeest is not a camel, you could eat it. Gamal, ask the Gemara, but it has canines. Ella, you should know the younger camel doesn't have any teeth on top. Ask the Gemara, you know that there is one animal that even though it's maligera and it doesn't have teeth, this Ben Gomel doesn't have teeth, even the young one, only the young one, So maybe maybe there's another animal in the world somewhere in I don't know what in India, in Pakistan. I don't know what. You check the whole world. Maybe there's an animal over there that doesn't have teeth. It's kosher. The Tanin very small. The only animal in the world that's maligero and is not kosher and doesn't have the split hooves is a camel. And the next pasuk, which is the shafan and Nar Nevis. That's it. The one who rules the world, he knows. And a lot of people want to prove that the Torah is real from here because there's millions of species of animals. And what Rabbeinu, they went through, they saw all the animals. How do they know to say that there's only one animal in the entire world that's maligera and not mafres parsa? They never found a steer to this. Who? Only this gomel. Who? You're going on the way and you don't have what to eat, and you find that animal that you can check its mouth to see the teeth situation. So look at its feet. If it has split hooves, then it starts. And make sure it's not a pig, because a pig, a chazer, he's strong over here. A chazer is maligera. I'm sorry, not maligera. It only has one stomach. You see, it doesn't have the four stomachs, the whole situation that a cow has. And those who know, they have these in Eretz Yisrael. These are one of the worst enemies of farmers. They kill. You have them also in the wild boars. You can't get rid of them. They kill them. Schwein is a pig, and wild. Swine, like in swine, wild swine. Wild swine. Okay. So here, this picture. You see that the chazer has split hooves, and yet, okay. So as long as you know that it's not a chazer, it looks something completely different, then you could eat it. Right? No. We're talking about, I can prove, I can't look at its mouth. I look at let's say the wildebeest. I say, oh, that's split hooves. It's a raya that he's kosher. As long as you know that the wildebeest is not a chazer. Because the chazer also has split hooves, and he's not kosher. But there's only one animal in the world that has split hooves, and is not kosher. That's the chazer. Ask the Gemara, how do you know? Maybe there's another one. Same question that we had before. Oh. Maybe there's another animal that's like a chazer, that has split hooves, and it's not a maligero. It can't be. The same thing as we said before. If it's a chazer, who? Only the chazer. Who? The Rebbe Shalom knows. There's only one animal in the world called a chazer. Shows you that he's a big tzaddik. Look at my feet. The famous thing. For the third time, you walk in the desert, you can't do the first two tricks that Rav Chizda said before, because its mouth is all messed up, its feet are messed up. What do? There's a third trick. You look inside into the flesh of the animal. Here we have a picture. What number is it? Usually I have it Masuder. On a normal night, I have 63. You have a new one from yesterday. 63? Wow. Crazy amount of things. Shasi V'Erev means if you look at the meat over here, it goes in two different directions. Where? By the tail. Here, I like this picture even more. This one is different. It goes, you can see the grain of the meat goes in different directions. Wow. We're already an hour into this year. We're still on Amud Aleph. This is bad news. Says the Gemara, it's 2:10 in the morning. Weiter. If it doesn't go both ways, then it's tummy. You should know there's a wild donkey called the oroid. It has meat that goes two directions. Make sure it's not a donkey, then you know it's 100% kosher. So the Gemara, same question we had before. Maybe there's another thing similar to this wild donkey. No, we have a Kabbalah we have a tradition. There's no other animal besides the aroid and kosher animals that their meat goes in different directions. Where should you check? By the tail, like you see in this picture right over here. Simon chaya. What's the simon of a chaya, of a venison? Those who ate venison. How do you know what's a chaya? What do you mean? What's a simon? It regurgitates. It's maligera. It has mafres parsa. Great. No, I don't want to know how you know a deer is kosher. I want to know how you know that it's a deer, not a cow. How can I tell the difference between a behema and a chaya? This is what it said. If it has horns and has pointed hooves, then it is something like this. Here, these are pointed. You see, like that.
But this is a kosher simon?
Yeah.
The horns.
No, not that it's kosher simon. This is a simon that's a chaya, that it's kosher. It's maligera and mafresh parsa. It has a split. Yeah, this also has a split. You see, but it's pointy. If this whatever this chaya has horns, you don't have to check. The only thing I didn't understand so much is a cow has horns. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. That has to do with the Gemara in a second. Yeah, the Gemara asked the question, not me.
That's the same kind.
Yeah, I asked the question, what the Gemara says. Good. Okay, if it has the hooves, you have to look at the
answers.
Oh, says the Gemara, the keresh, mutter. This keresh has one horn, you're allowed to eat it. So Rav Amitai ben David wants the taina that the keresh over here is a giraffe. It actually has 4 stomachs. It's maligera. Sometimes it has one horn on top, and we don't need it because we don't have the Messiah where to shacht it. But a giraffe has all the simonim of a kosher chaya. That would be a chaya actually, not a behemoth. Says the Gemara, klolo. What? There's a rule. Vareyes. You have a goat. The yesh lekernayim utlafayim. It has horns. A goat has horns. And has tlafayim. Has those pointy feet, hooves. V'chalbei also. You're not allowed to eat its chaylev. How do you know you're not allowed to eat the chaylev? Because the Torah says before, you're not allowed to eat the chaylev of. Here is the pasuk. Dabel b'nei Yisrael le'ema kol chaylev kshor v'chesev ve'ez a goat. Let's the chaylev. You're not allowed to eat. Says the Gemara kruchas b'inon. You're right, but the horn has to be karoch. What number is that? I'm looking up and down here. It's crazy. Wow. Wilde stuff. Here, kruchos. Kruchos means that it's layered. Layered like an onion. You see, like that. So that's one of the simonim you need. So the Gemara, Varei, Shar, the kruchos, also. A bull has this kind of horn, and you're not allowed to eat a bull. You're not allowed to eat a behemoth chaylev. You're allowed to eat a chayah. All chaylev of a chayah of a deer you're allowed to eat. Remember that. But a sheep and a cow, you're not allowed to eat the chaylev. There's certain chaylev you're allowed to, we saw, but most of it you're not allowed to. Says Gemara Charukas, it has grooves in it, being on. Something like this. These grooves. Says Gemara, wow. All these wives are mamish sitkonis, letting their husbands. But a goat has these grooves in it, and the chel is also. Says Gemara, futsal is being on. You need that they should branch off. Ask the Gemara, Varei tzvi. What about a tzvi? The aim of futsal is a deer's horns are not split. The chel by mutter. Says Gemara, chadura is being on. So the two ways to read it. Chaduris and chaduda is either it's round or it's pointy. Being on. Hiltoch. Says Gemara, hey chadim paslo. If it's split, you don't need any. It's pasha that it's what? Chaya. It's a chaya. Hey chadim paslo. And when it's not split, being krucha is chaduda is the charuka is you need that they should be layered, they should be round or with a point. The charuka is that has a bunch of grooves in it. And that they're next to each other. And that's why we had a problem with this goat from Karkois. Why? What happened? These are the Karkois that have very shkalusa, the okra, they had a bunch of fat that came out of this goat, but they weren't sure if it's a chaya that you're allowed to eat the fat, or it's a behemoth you're not allowed to eat the fat. Rav Choy says also, Rav Shmuel bereded Rav Bo, But Rav Shmuel Bereder Ravo said you're allowed to eat from it. Chayyad Hashem, he said this pasuk mepri pi ish tizba bitnai. You will be satiated from the fruit of when you hear from another man. In other words, I learned well from a Rebbe. My Rebbe told me you're allowed to eat this kind of goat. So maybe I'm going to be savay, I'm going to be satiated, I'm going to be full. You're allowed to eat it. For what? This eases the karkais. And I just want to make sure that eases the karkais is not what the Gemara says later, okay? Just be careful of Rabbeinu Achai, who says that you're not allowed to eat this kind of goat. Don't say in front of him that the Allah is you're allowed to. That'll make him feel bad. And so what? He's the Goladar, so be careful. Don't fight with him. Rabbi Sai, have a gewaldige week. Thank you for coming.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shiur today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.